Be prepared for anything to happen. The Lowry Hill Tunnel is an area in the metro that is notorious for anything and everything that happens. I was traveling eastbound Interstate 94 coming through the tunnel and heard a loud, what sounded like an explosion, and suddenly saw a semi coming at my squad car on its side, and behind the semi was a wave of milk. It was a tanker truck that had rolled over. First responders are often faced with unpredictable situations. The training that first responders go through provides them with the tools to respond safely and effectively. Bridge decks are hazards for everyone that responds. There's no avenue of escape on a bridge deck.
Crash on the river bridge. Imagine you are standing just in front of this and you look up and you see a car coming at you. What are your choices? Probably jump over the wall. And if this crash, instead of being in the left lane, this crash is in the right lane, would jumping over the wall be a good idea? You have to be aware of the entire environment. You have to be aware of the things that are going on around you.
It's very important to everybody to park on the same side.
You're not competing with different views from the traffic. They're not having to scan back and forth to keep track of everything.
Most of the concepts are the same between Minnesota rural areas versus metro areas, but there might be some procedural differences. In the rural areas, firefighters may respond directly to the scene in their personal vehicles.
If you're responding in personal vehicles, best advice would be to park past the scene and as far off to the shoulder as you can.
We live in Minnesota, and we have ice, we have snow, we have rain.
Road conditions cause the first crash, can cause another one. If the first guy got there, so can somebody else.
When it comes to communication, that dispatcher becomes a very critical piece in that information for updates. Are the roads icy? Are there some power lines nearby?
As a dispatcher, I think as far as making sure that the responders are safe, we make sure that there aren't any hazmat chemicals or anything of that nature.
The cable barriers are very effective from preventing crossover crashes. However, they are under high tension, so it's important to get some information from MnDOT if you have cable barriers in your area. You have to be very aware of making sure you don't have too many lights, depending on where your incident is, because you might create a gawker scene.
Especially at night, you need to have enough emergency lighting so that people can see you from a distance. But at a certain point, it just becomes overwhelming. It's not just about having a ton of blinky lights, it's about giving some sort of instruction to people.